Hi guys, John here from LearningGuitarNow.com, and in this podcast, I want to show you a cool little blues exercise that you can play over a funky style blues. I'll go ahead and play it for you. We'll dissect it. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, now that you've heard the lick, let's dissect this exercise so you can understand, how to practice it and get something out of it. So it sounds like this. That's it. That's the exercise. Now, there's a few cool little things about it that can be a little bit difficult to perform. So let's go ahead and analyze that. First, the notes. We're deriving this from the minor pentatonic scale and the blues scale. This exercise is in the key of C. Of course, you can play it in any key that you like. So we're starting on the 8th fret of the high E string with our first finger. Then we're going 11 to 8 on the B string. Got this. That's the first three notes. And then the next sequence is going to go 10. It's kind of a grace note. We're striking 10, we're sliding into the 11th fret of the G string. But all those are kind of performed in a row. So you have this. So you slide from 10 to 11, that's the blues note right here on the 11th fret of the G string. Slide back to 10th fret. Now release to the 8th fret of the G string. And then we're going to strike the 10th fret of the D string. That's the key, the root we're in, C. Now getting that little phrase down is the first step to mastering this exercise. Start off slow. So that 10th fret on the G string that we're striking first on that section is, like I said, it's a grace note, so you don't really stay on that note long at all. So you're just immediately sliding when you hit that 10th fret of the G string. Now we're going to rest, just a slight, it's a 16th note, but we're just going to take a quick rest and do this cool little blues move where we're going to hammer on to 8-10 of the G string. And then we're going to strike 8th fret on the B string. And then 8th fret of the G string, so you get this sound. And then you just kind of bend that slightly. And you want to let that B string on the 8th fret just ring out a little bit. That's a cool blues move in itself. Slowly hammer on 8 to 10 on the G string. Strike the 8th fret of the B string. And then you hit the 8th fret of the G string, and then just bend it slightly. That kind of out-of-tune sound is really cool in blues stuff. And then we're going to pull off 10 to 8 on the D string, and then strike 10 on the D string for the final note of the exercise. So the exercise, not that many notes, but a couple little complicated moves. So slowly the whole thing is this. Rest. 2, 3, 4. And you play it again. We start the exercise on the first beat. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Slow it down. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So that's how the exercise works. A great little exercise to build technique and speed. It sounds really cool over this funky style blues. The things to take note of is just getting this that first little section when you're sliding the 10 to 11, that's like one little phrase there. So getting that down. And then this little section here. When you're performing that, you just want to bar that B and the G, because if you try to go on the tip of your finger on that B string, and then you try to hop up, it's going to be way too erratic sounding. So you want to use your whole finger and just bar it and just bend it and make it sound out of tune. And then you can vibrato that 10th fret to, that lasts for 4 counts. 2, 3, 4. So the first leg, this part, rest. That's one, that's 4 beats there. When you strike the 10, that lasts for 4 beats, just letting it ring out. And you can play this over the entire 12-bar blues, C, F, and G. Just play it. We're gonna play this thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Sounds good over any chord. F, G. Excuse me, that'll be 6 times if you want to play it over the entire 12-bar blues. You can just keep repeating it over and over again. Fits in perfectly with a 12-bar blues. Now, if you want to play it in different keys, that's a great way to make this exercise more useful and get better at playing it, because if you play here, the exercise, but then you go down to G and play the exercise, the fret distance is different, so it's going to feel a lot different. It's smaller, you know, the distance between the frets here, and it's a lot more area up here, so you need to practice it in all different keys. That's G. So a good thing to do would be start at F, first fret, and practice it all the way up. 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to go through every single key, but you get the idea. I'm just going to keep moving it up. And even you can tell, though, if you play it in E, slow, a lot different sounding. Well, not really a lot different sounding, a lot different, just the way it feels with your hand from playing in C than playing it in E to playing it in G. So it's a really cool exercise to master. You'll get your chops down. It's got some space in there using that little mute, cool little blues moves. It's just got a lot of cool things that'll make your playing sound a little bit more professional. Okay, that's it for this podcast. If you would like the tab, the backing track, and the interactive version, see about joining the All Access Pass. In the All Access Pass, you'll also get access to over 1,000 videos. And I'm teaching you how to play blues and slide guitar, you know, style of Clapton, B.B. King, Freddie King, Duane Allman, all this kind of stuff. So check out the All Access Pass, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.